Good morning, class 8. In previous video, I taught about that xylem, permanent tissue. That is, it was xylem. Now today I will start the permanent tissue. It is phloem. So from the lower classes, you know about it that xylem will help in carrying the water and mineral from the lower side, that means from the root up to the leaves, and leaf will complete their photosynthesis. Then after photosynthesis, the extra water will be gone to atmosphere and process will be the transpiration. Now today I will discuss about the phloem tissue. As in the xylem tissue, there were 4 types of tissues. That's why it is a complex tissue. Now today, according to the phloem also have these 4 types of cells. In them, collectively, they will form the phloem. First is sieve tube cell. As children, the name indicates sieve. Everyone you know that sieve should have some pores in their lower surface, then it will be called as sieve. So this sieve tube cell also have the same type of structure. They also have the sieve plate. Wherever there are some perforation or pores in it, with that pore the food can be transported from one cell to another cell. See, here is the sieve tube cell, this one. Children, one thing more. As our RBC, when it is matured, then there will be no nucleus, it is enucleated. Same type of sieve tube cells are also there in plant. When they will mature, they do not have their own nucleus. Only because if there will be nucleus, so nucleus should have respired, nucleus needs some food, nucleus needs some cell division, everything or every type of metabolic activity that cell have to do. That's why cell at the maturity lost their nucleus and they are enucleated, that means without nucleus. So the food will come from each and every cell. See, here it is sieve pore. Through that pore, slowly the food can pass from one cell to another cell. Otherwise, total food every time it will pass after photosynthesis from upper cell to lower cell, and then it will be collected in the root. It should not happen. Then other cells, how they will get the food? So this sieve plate have some sieve pores, due to which food can be transported in very slow way, and that it can go to each and everywhere. If it will be having some branches, then these cells will pass it to the branch also. In this way, a plant can get the food from the leaves up to the roots. So this is the sieve tube cell. It becomes mature, there is no nucleus. Second names, children, I have written here, companion cell. As children, the name suggests it is maybe not in your book, but you should know it. Because when there will be no nucleus, then who will there to complete their activity or how they become alive? So that's why, as children, you know, companion cell, that means you also have some friends which always give you company. So that's why these cells are named as companion cell, because they have nucleus, they are alive, and due to their nucleus and due to they are alive, they can complete the all type of activity about the cell, not the transportation of food, about the cell. they will complete for the sieve tube cell. So the name is given companion cell. These are present just next to the sieve tube cell, and they can complete all the cellular activity of sieve tube cell with the help of companion cell. Simply sieve tube cell. So now what will be the proper structure of the sieve tube cell? It is only the pipe shaped structure, or you can say these are the cylindrical in structure. All the cells will join from head to head, head to tail. Then in between there is one plate. That plate will be known as sieve plate. Sieve plate have some pores to pass the prepared food from one cell to another cell. This is known as sieve pore, and in this way they make a cylinder like area, a cylinder like pipe shaped area through which food can be transported. So this is the structure of sieve tube cell. Now children, companion cell. Maybe it is not in your book, then simply I want to tell you, as the companion cell, they are also having thin walled. Then most of the function is like living parenchyma. That means they can help to store also, they can help to provide rigidity also, and they give the help, or they provide help to the sieve tube cell. This much only is enough for you. Third one, phloem parenchyma. As children you know, everywhere in xylem also, in parenchyma tissue also, in chlorenchyma, wherever there is parenchyma cell, they have a main function to store any subtype of substance. Here also phloem parenchyma, they help to store the prepared food in them. Not necessary that each and every time whatever food is prepared by leaves and it should pass through the plant. Slowly where it is going, when it is going very slowly, so extra food will be stored in the phloem parenchyma. So these are the vacuole, because plant cell have big vacuole. So plant cell have a big vacuole, that's why this parenchyma have a big vacuole, and in this vacuole they can store their food in the form of cell sap. This is phloem parenchyma. And lastly, or the last type of cell found in phloem, it is phloem fiber, as you got in xylem also. Xylem fiber and also have that phloem fiber. Everywhere, if it is fiber, it means it should be small in diameter. It should be thin. Both the side of the cell will be tapering, and it will provide some strength or rigidity or solidness to the plant wherever there is fiber. And this phloem fiber, in your book it is drawn there. Like that. They have the thickening of lignin in it. Due to the presence of lignin, they are so strong, so rigid, and provide rigidity to the plant also, and these are the phloem fiber. So children, xylem also have 4 types of cells. That's why it is complex tissue found in plant. And phloem also have 4 types of tissue, so it is also a complex type of tissue in the plants. These are the functions. See, sieve tube cell have to transport the food from one cell to another cell through the sieve plate, and sieve plate have sieve pores. So through the sieve pores food will come or food will pass from one cell to another cell. Second one, parent companion cell. To complete the activity of the sieve tube cell, activity means not to transport the food. Cellular activity means respiration. Then other activity, excretion, whatever they have to do, these are activities, or these activities done by the companion cell next to it. After that, phloem parenchyma. This is the phloem parenchyma. Everywhere parenchyma have to store the material. If it is present in xylem, then it will store the water and mineral. If it is present in phloem, then it will store the prepared food. And they are the living cell. Always parenchyma cell will be the living cell, and here there is no nucleus at maturity, so they are not living cell at the maturity, because their work is doing by this companion cell, so they have no nucleus. These are enucleated, yet they are living cell. And phloem fiber, it is the dead cell, as found in xylem also. Fiber is always having the dead cell. Third one, to store starch or prepared food, that is phloem parenchyma. They have a large vacuole, and due to that large vacuole, they can store more amount of material in it. And fourth one, it gives strong rigidity, strength and support, that is mechanical support to the plant. Due to the presence of phloem fiber, the plant can get. So according to your book or in your book, companion cell is not there, but children, you should know it, because when sieve tube cell gets matured, so there will be no nucleus, then how it can function? So that's why this thing you have to know, that is companion cell. Now children, one new type of complex tissue you studied, it was xylem. And now you studied about the phloem. So in a plant, all the xylem tissues and all the phloem tissues both combinedly form the vascular bundle. So I think everyone you know about the petiole. Petiole have simply, petiole is the stalk of the leaf. So leaf have to prepare the food. So leaf need water and mineral for it, and after preparation the food, they have to send it, pass it, transport it to the another tissue. So that's why in the petiole there will be the xylem and phloem, that is vascular bundle. First example. Second example, you can get the vascular bundle in the midrib of the leaf, because from the midrib other ventlets arises, and all these ventlets can get water and mineral for the full leaf or total broadness of the lamina, and then after photosynthesis this again bring to phloem, by which it can transport to the other part of the plant. So there is known as vascular bundle, where there is xylem and phloem combined together, then it is known as vascular bundle. So in case of petiole, you can see very well under microscope the xylem and phloem of that plant, and in case of midrib of the leaf, you can see it very well, or you can observe it very well under the microscope. There will be xylem and phloem. So collectively, see children, this is the portion of the midrib after cutting off it. Then suppose this is the xylem, this is the phloem. So children, combinedly it is known as vascular bundle. Nothing more than this, because you do not have more than this about the xylem and phloem. Only xylem have 4 types of tissue, phloem have 4 types of tissue. Each tissue and each type of cell have different type of structure, and then different type of structure. Why they have different type of structure? According to their function. What are the function? These are the functions of the phloem, and these are the functions of xylem. So altogether, if you will combine both of them, then there will be the function of vascular bundle. Okay children, now today chapter is over. So children, I will give some question answer in the next video to complete this chapter, and as per questions you will complete, and I will give you the date to submit it. Then please children, you will submit to me either in my WhatsApp number, or you give your copy and you have to bring it, and I will collect in the school. Anywhere I will discuss it afterwards. Okay children, thank you. God bless you.